For each object as a basic, I take the cycle, because I find that it is better to start with simple shapes and then gradually adding points for better control movements within the form. This gives added volume. The mesh will be correct and the color mixing will be smoother. Creating a gradient mesh. Define the center of an object. Usually I take the nose as a center point for a portrait or face. Add the mesh points on the line of the eyes and mouth. We will need to correct the shapes that are automatically added in, from the oval to face. As you add more and more intersecting points with the gradient mesh tool, you need to ensure that the new mesh grid coincides with the facial features. It is important not to go overboard with the mesh points at the initial stage, because you can always add them later on. It is recommended that you do not delete the points, because this will distort your colorful areas and they won't fill incorrectly. Once everything is in place and the way you like it, you can gradually add color to the grid using the eyedropper tool. Using the white arrow selecting tool, highlight an axis point and select the color from the same area in the original photograph or image, template where your selected axis point is. When filling color, you may notice how many different shades of skin, teeth and hair there are on human face. It is important to monitor the process. For this, you will need to reduce the image transparency of your original artwork or photograph. The task is complex. Draw a pupil. It will round off the grid. To make this easier, create a new layer above the photo. On the side of the pupil, draw a few cycles in each other. Blocking layer. Now we have the guides, on which we round up the grid. To bend the mesh points, select Convert Anchor Point tool. Next step, eyebrows. Creating a gradient mesh and fill it with the color below. Now for the difficult part, I think, drawing the fabric. Gradually adding additional lines, then adding color in the same manner as before. At the initial stage, do not draw only one fabric. You need to take the entire form and create one larger gradient mesh. Then to go step by step, gradually adding mesh points to the whole entire part. One tip is to back up your mesh along the way by duplicating the shapes. This is done in your case you make an error and need to go back. Next part, hair. Let's start with the allocation of larger strands. Find the main hairs which determine the movement. To make the strands look natural, you need to draw each individual hair strand with the pen tool. For a realistic look, add a slight transparent effect to each strand. So, that's all. The whole process takes me nearly 11 hours. Now let me show you finally result.